How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Tape Deck Media.
See you at the party, Richter!
Hello and welcome to See You at the Potty Richter. My name is Chris Chapman, joined as always by my co-hosts Aaron Frescus.
What up?
And Joseph Beck Castro.
Hello, cutie pies.
And joining us once again is our special guest, Erika Shasky.
Hello.
Thanks for coming back, Erika, to continue talking about Arnold's 1992? Three? Doesn't matter to me. I was a toddler. Anyway, 1993 action comedy. Yeah, no, I'm out of these. Action comedy vehicle, Last Action Hero. Today we are going to be talking about some of the promotional material. So Aaron's going to tell us about stuff. That was a bad intro.
That's okay.
It doesn't matter. He'll tell us some stuff.
Okay. How's it going, guys?
I'm all right.
That's good. Check out my cup. I can't
It's
see
invisible.
it. There it is.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about it.
It's a movie.
Oh,
Oh, shit.
It's a movie.
You got to talk so I can see it because I just see Joe's giant face.
Hello. Don't shoot me. I got him. That's Whiskers. He's over there somewhere. I don't know. There he is. Fucking blasting fools.
Shit, that's like a comic book.
Yeah. Well, I'm just turning it, but yeah, it's actually.
No, I
a
meant
movie.
I meant the art. This
Oh.
looks like comic book art.
I'm using a straw because I don't know what this guy did with the cup before I got it.
That's fair.
Anyway, it's a Last Action Hero cup that was like $10.
Yeah,
eBay from some pervert on eBay.
he snagged it.
Anyway, so we left off late January '93 with Universal moving up Jurassic Park's release date 2 weeks, so it now come out a week before Last Action Hero.
Mm-hmm.
And then Columbia's delusional chairman Mark Canton responding by doing nothing.
That's right.
And I'm just going to start with the John McTiernan quote. The John McTiernan, that's what John McTiernan does. He doesn't give quotes, he gives quotes.
A McTwote.
Yeah. The McTiernan gave you guys where he's talking about Columbia overhyping the movie.
The Mick movie.
Stupid.
Yeah, the Mick movie, yeah.
You know how you have Spike Lee joints? All his are Mick movies.
No affiliation to McDonald's whatsoever. And what I was saying was McTiernan told Empire magazine in 2012, quote, "I didn't have time to get intimately involved in all the press disasters, but the advertising campaign was terrible. It did seem that if they hadn't overhyped the movie, it would have been a lot easier to sell it because it's actually sweet and kind of small in its heart. It isn't Cleopatra, it's the anti-Cleopatra." And then he finishes by saying, and if they had come on... Sorry, I know that fucked me up last time too. And if they had come on a little more quietly, I mean, it does help. It probably would have worked out better for them. Anyway, unquote. And yeah, he ain't wrong.
Yeah.
So supposedly a few people urged Columbia to push back the release date, with Zach Penn talking in the same Empire magazine article about how he once again called up Mark Canton saying, quote, "It was insane. I rang him up and said, I want to see Jurassic Park more than Last Action Hero. And Last Action Hero was my idea," as a way to try to get him to like postpone the date.
And that's why you're not on the movie anymore.
Exactly. All the stuff, like every single time he says, I don't know, just most of the stuff, I'm like, dude, you're being a pain in the ass.
Yeah, truly. They weren't going to listen to you before. They're certainly not going to listen to you now. What the fuck you? Yeah.
Kind of sounds like Mark Canton's secretary kind of just hated him. Just keeps sending calls through.
Yeah.
Because it's the second time that Zach Penn's been able to get through. No problem. Just voices complaints.
Yeah.
Anyway, apparently competing with Jurassic Park wasn't the only reason Canton was being bugged about the release. Like the date. Supposedly both John McTiernan and I was going to say Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Both asked Columbia to push back the release date in order to allow for more post-production time, but Canton refused, supposedly due to not wanting to give off the impression to the media that the movie was in trouble.
Yeah.
Which totally would have made them look like fucking idiots after all the bragging they were doing about it being the greatest movie ever. And apparently, like, not looking dumb took precedence over the well-being of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they're like, no. As long as we don't look dumb, it's fine. Whatever.
We'll just look dumb later.
Yeah, exactly. As long as they don't look dumb now.
That's future Mark Canton's problem.
That's the way I think about stuff, too, which I'm like, okay, now I'm starting to understand Mark Canton a little better. By the way, John McTiernan was also kind of right as far as what he said about the Last Action Hero advertising campaign being not good, because Columbia made a few would call them odd choices, which Arnold talks about a little bit in his book. Because apparently he was heavily involved with the ad campaign due to being an executive producer on the film. And while he does discuss some of the promotional stunts we're going to talk about, he wasn't exactly forthcoming about a few pretty darn crucial details. For instance, the like mishaps and like misfortunes that they'd end up dealing with throughout the like run of the ad campaign or whatever. Anyway, let's hear what Arnold had to say about Last Action Heroes campaign, and I'll fill in any missing details along the way. So he begins by talking about his involvement in the film's merchandising decisions, specifically the design process of the Mattel toy line, which, by the way, was just one of the many aspects of the film that he had final say over. Because I think it was all the marketing and promotional stuff. But yeah, anyway, he says in the book, quote, "When the toy people showed up with their prototypes of a Jack Slater doll, I vetoed the combat weapons they proposed. I said, this is the 90s, not the 80s. Instead of wielding a flamethrower, the toy Jack Slater threw a punch and said, 'Big mistake,' which was Slater's tagline against the bad guys. On the toy package, it said, 'Play it smart, never play with real guns.'" Unquote. And yeah, I'm sure you guys will be surprised that this was not a very popular decision. They even like kind of touched on it in the Nancy Griffin book, Hit and Run, which is one of the books I read, claiming that the decision for a weaponless action figure was, quote, "the last thing anyone wanted to hear." As one prominent producer pointed out, an action figure without weapons is a doll. But yeah. So basically, like that, what I took from that is if you ever see a little kid playing with a Superman toy, it's totally fine to be like, "Nice doll, pussy." I don't know. Because I started thinking, I'm like, yeah, I guess I don't know. Sure. Stretch Armstrong just like rolling over in his grave. By the way, I wanted to mention the Jurassic Park toys as well, but then I found a few old TV ads for both of them, for Last Action Hero and the Jurassic Park toys. So we'll save that for when we check out the promo videos.
Man, why wasn't the toy line called Last Action Figures?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen a I've seen a lot of old toys, but I don't think I've ever seen a Last Action Hero toy.
Yeah, there's you might have, but they're kind of boring. So we'll see them later.
It's just a dude in a red t-shirt.
Yeah, pretty much. Or a black t-shirt. So, they got to change it up. Some more toys. Anyway, well, let's get back to Arnold talking about the awesome ad campaign. Continuing saying in his book, quote, "We went all out on merchandising and promotion. Besides the action toys, we licensed 7 kinds of video games, a $20 million promotion with Burger King, a $36 million ride film to go into amusement parks, and, this is my favorite, NASA picked us to be the first ever paid advertisement in outer space." Unquote.
Yeah.
What does that mean? Just like forcing astronauts to watch commercials? I don't understand what that means.
No, they have the astronauts doing the sign spinning up there. It's very easy up there.
Yeah. No, I do remember this. So
really,
yeah,
the space.
I do not remember this at all.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I have an ad. I don't have a link for it, but like I saw an ad for the like the number you can call. Anyway. But he talks a little bit more, but we're going to go through it real fast. So first he mentioned about how they licensed 7 kind of video games, which like made it sound like they made 7 different video games. Yeah. But what he meant was that it was released on 7 different platforms.
Yeah. Okay. Meaning like Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis both counted as a kind of video game to Arnold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that was including the original Nintendo, the NES. Yeah. Which is, I was surprised by it because like the Super Nintendo had already been out for like 3 years.
Yeah.
So I was like, what? The NES was still making... Apparently, the last NES game was released in 1995.
Yeah, I think Nintendo like supports their consoles for a really long time.
Is that good or bad?
That's good. It means you don't have to buy the new console to play the new games.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean,
good for consumers, I guess. I don't know.
I'm curious. I'm curious. What was the next one after the Super NES? Was it 64?
Yeah.
I think so.
I'm curious what year that came out. Like if they waited until
I think
that
it was
came
like
out
95.
96, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
before they like stopped making games for the Nintendo.
Yeah.
Well, Virtual Boy was in there somewhere, but
Sure.
Wait, wasn't that bad?
yeah, it was terrible.
Was that the red one?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the one that gave people
Okay.
horrible headaches.
Okay, see that and the Power Glove looks so cool, but I can't afford. Like my parents ain't gonna pay for that shit.
No.
Especially because I don't think it worked very well.
Yeah, no, I think it was a piece of shit.
But that Wizard movie, man, was great advertising.
Oh yeah. Ooh. I wanted the Power Glove so bad.
Exactly. That and Super Mario Brothers 3 was just like, oh man,
Yeah.
this is awesome.
Well, that lived up to the fucking hype. That game's still amazing.
Yeah. That and your parents getting divorced was like, I was like, yeah, all about it. Because like, I was kind of upset about it until I watched that movie. I was like, all right, Fred Savage has a point. It's going to be okay.
2 Christmases.
Exactly. But yeah, as far as the video game, apparently it also did not include guns or any weapons at all, which I'm sure made it super fun.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be like kind of like a beat 'em up game.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The game also wasn't released until January of 94, so 6 months after the movie hit theaters.
Jesus, that's...
And I guess this was to coincide with the home video release.
Oh.
I'm no marketing genius, but that seems like a bad choice.
Okay, yes. And I want to take a look at the ad real fast because it's like 30 seconds long and it contains some useful, interesting info, I would guess you could say.
Cool. And play.
If you want action, we got it. Last Action Hero. Now, the year's most action-packed movie is today's hottest video game for your Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis systems. And it's available only at your video store. So when you're returning this cassette, pick up the game and live the action.
Okay. Anyone notice how they mentioned that it's only available at the video store?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did anybody notice how
You don't
they
see
didn't
any
show
part
any
of the game. Yeah.
I did not
That
notice
was
that. I did
literally
not
the
notice
first
that
thing
at
I
all until you
noticed.
mentioned it.
Like, we're just supposed to take this kid's word for it that he's like staring at a TV and like having so much fun.
Like,
Yeah.
had they not finished the game when they made that commercial?
I mean, I wasn't like really wanting to play the game until I saw how much fun that kid was having. Or he was having a seizure while playing the game.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so I'm going to throw it to Wikipedia for the reason behind the whole video store decision, because I don't know, it's easier to do that. Which says that each copy of the Genesis and SES, Super NES versions had an unusually high wholesale price of $60 to $70, with a resulting $100 retail price.
Jesus.
Which is crazy for
Yeah.
which was too high for most consumers, obviously, because the retail price now for PlayStation 5 games is what, 70, 69, I think?
Yeah, they're just now making games more expensive for the first time.
They're just now
in, like, 30
making the
years.
price of video games sexy. $69.
Stupid.
So that's insane for 1993.
Yeah.
But it continues by saying that as a result, the two game versions were originally only available as rentals for a minimum 7-month period, which I think they did that for 7 months. And then after a 7-month rental period was up, the two game versions would be repriced for consumer retail. So were they trying to, I guess they were trying to recoup some of the, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's weird.
I just don't understand.
Like, seriously, like the more stuff I find out about their ad campaign, the more I'm just like, what are you guys purposely trying to like self-sabotaging? Like, well, what are you doing? Like, this is so weird. Anyway, okay, so Arnold also mentioned the $20 million promotion with Burger King, which we watched an ad for during the pre-watch, the one with the cool collectible cups.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, which I didn't know. Joe, did you have one of those? Because I didn't know it was a sleeve that was on it.
No, I didn't have one.
Do you remember them though? Like if you turn it, it like
The lenticular thing?
Oh, yeah.
Like kind of makes it look like a movie.
No, I don't remember that.
And it was a, it was a
it's
sleeve?
Like
What do you mean?
It was a sleeve that you would turn. So basically you put a sleeve over it that had holes in it. So there'd be a picture on there. And as you turn it, it'd make it look like a movie.
Oh.
So
That's
yeah.
super
So there were comments on like Reddit. They were like, yeah, I lost the sleeve after the first day. So that's, but anyway, he then mentions that the $36 million quote unquote ride film to go in amusement parks, which I could not find a damn thing about except a mention of it in a 1993 Bloomberg article, which says that a simulator ride using film footage was in the works, along with the virtual reality version of the movie that was supposed to show in theaters. Which I don't get how that would work, but
No, but that sounds insanely... Yeah, that sounds insane.
I mean, I think it could work nowadays with like the 4D capability.
Yeah, that's what it sounds
back
like.
Then,
Yeah.
I mean, maybe like a production of like, they had like, think it was at Disneyland, or maybe they had like a I Shrunk the Audience like production where you felt
I never
them,
went to
like,
that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was
that was the same thing as like 4D though, isn't it? Or wasn't it?
Essentially. Yeah.
Essentially.
It was like 3D plus a little bit of like in room like actual effects, like fog machines and shit.
Like the dog actually sneezes on you and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you guys done the 4D movies? Because that seems like it would be like
it sounds like a nightmare.
That sounds like a ride
like,
you can't get off of for 3 hours.
Yeah, it just sounds like the seat is going to be punching you the whole time.
Yeah,
like
no,
I
thank
don't.
you.
That sounds pleasurable, actually. But I'm the guy that likes Thai massages, where the chicks like stand on you and like fucking do the people's elbow in your back and shit. So
okay, so that Bloomberg article. Okay, anyway, I'm assuming the plans for both of those, the virtual reality thing and the simulator, were dropped after the film underperformed at the box office because I could not find like I said, a thing about them.
Damn.
And at first I thought that maybe it had like a short run at like Universal Studios, because that sounds like something that they'd have there. But Universal made Jurassic Park, so there's no fucking way.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Once I was like, was it? Because I started looking for it, and I was like, maybe Universal Studios. I was like, oh wait, they know.
I'm trying to like, who would even have it if not Universal Studios?
Right?
Exactly.
Like, definitely not Disney, right?
Like,
so like, yeah.
It feels like it would be like the tram ride at Universal.
Well, isn't
like a version of it?
Well, isn't true. That actually would be kind of
like
cool.
Jurassic has its own ride there.
Yeah, like ride.
Like this
that's
could be
like a tour through the park or something, right?
The tram ride?
No, the Jurassic Park one.
It's like a water ride.
Yeah.
Yeah, but are you just like rides?
I mean,
I feel like
the concept of it is. It's been a long time since I've been on it, but yeah, I think the concept is that you're just kind of going through the park, but like there's not much story
Jurassic
to it.
Park.
Yeah. That's sorry.
Sorry, I thought you meant like Universal Studios Park.
Just a
I was
tour
like,
of Universal Studios.
I thought that was the tram ride. I'm so confused. Sorry. I even watched. Okay, this is how bored I was the other day. I just turned on TikTok and somebody was recording the Jurassic Park like ride live while they were on it, and I was like, I'll watch this. That's fine. Like, I'll just sit here and pretend I'm on the ride with them.
Did you not go on it when you were there?
Yeah, I've been on it twice.
Okay.
Could I tell you we went through the park? I don't know. I remember the end of the ride, and the end of the ride, I remember thinking, oh, that was very similar to Indiana Jones.
Was there no drop in that ride? Like,
yeah, there is.
It's a water ride, isn't it?
Yeah, there's one drop.
There's one drop where it's like the dinosaur comes at you, and then the ride ducks under the dinosaur, and it just reminded me of like
spoilers.
The same thing with Indiana Jones, where you like duck under the rock.
Fuck that T-Rex.
Yeah, I don't know.
So it's not like a Splash Mountain drop. It's like a little small drop.
No, it's like a Splash Mountain drop, from what I remember.
It's probably a little less than Splash Mountain, but it's not like
it's steep.
It's not like a beginning of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, that was the other one.
No.
Okay.
No, just fuck that T-Rex, because apparently I went to Universal Studios once with our family, and we went on that ride.
Whoa! They actually took you?
Yeah, and the fucking pictures on the ride, like that they take it to. We never buy those fucking pictures, right? Well, apparently my face was so fucking scared that they thought it was hilarious, and they decided to buy the fucking picture.
Oh my god!
And that picture's up in the house somewhere.
That's awesome. Joe, I don't know if. I'm sure Erika went on it too, but the Simpsons one's just riding through Springfield, right?
Yeah, you're like in an elevator or something. So I think, like, you guys ever been on the Back to the Future ride? You're just kind of in a cart with like a screen in front.
Yeah,
like the cart.
like
like Star Tours, right?
Yeah, but not like. Well, Star Tours is like you're in a cart with a bunch of people. This is just a cart with your people.
Oh, okay. So it's per party.
Yes.
Oh.
I don't remember. That was weird. 7 years ago.
I only remember because I downed a michelada in line, and the whole time I was sitting in the back of the car thinking, don't throw up on the back of your brother's head. Don't do that.
So it's not even like it's one of like Star Tours is what do you call those? Those are
simulator.
Yeah.
So it's not moving. Like it is moving, but it's not like
on a track.
Forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how the Back to the Future one was, and I think probably that's how that's what it sounds like they wanted to set up for Last Action Hero.
Yeah, for $36 million, which I don't remember how much that T2 thing cost, but like I feel like it was a lot.
Like,
so
Yeah, it was a lot. I just like, if it's not at Universal Studios and it's not at Disneyland, does that mean it just ended up at like Family Fun Center or something? Like
Busch Gardens? That's the only other place. Or Knott's Berry Farm?
No.
Was Magic Mountain a thing back then? I guess
Yeah,
Six
I
Flags
think-
was
yes.
a thing. Yeah.
Magic Mountain has been there since like at least the 60s.
Yeah, so
I guess I meant Six Flags, but yeah.
Well, I mean, Six Flags bought Magic Mountain.
Yeah.
okay, so yeah, that never happened, and I tried to find something because there's a bunch of articles that like talk about old rides that don't exist anymore. It's but like in ones that are based on movies, but it's not in any of those. So I don't think it like once the movie bombed. I think it just they're like just quietly
Yeah,
like
makes
okay,
sense.
we're not going to do that.
Yeah. Not worth it.
Moving on, Arnold describes his favorite of their marketing stunts, saying, quote, NASA picked us up to be like I was saying, NASA picked us up to be the first ever paid advertisement in outer space. We painted Last Action Hero and Arnold Schwarzenegger on the sides of a rocket and then held a national sweepstakes whose winners would get to push the launch button, unquote. And that sounds that sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it once again omits a few pretty important details. So, quick background information about the whole thing. On March 3rd, 1993, Columbia Pictures announced that it made a deal with NASA to promote Last Action Hero by having Arnold's name painted on 6 outer booster rockets, and then the title logo painted across the fuselage, the payload, and a science satellite. The plan was for the unmanned Conestoga rocket to launch sometime in May 1993 and then conduct microgravity experiments as it orbits the Earth for 2 years. It was supposed to be, like he said, the first time that a U.S. rocket would be used to advertise in space, with Columbia's president of marketing, Sid Ganis, a.k.a. the dude that didn't know how to describe the film. Yeah, him telling the United Press International that they were excited about breaking new ground in the advertising world. And apparently they had like a bunch of different companies that wanted to participate. Anyway, the president of Space Marketing Inc., which was the marketing firm that partnered with NASA, ended up telling the LA Times that they decided on only one ad because, quote, we didn't want the rocket to look like a pace car at the Indy 500. Yeah, unquote. But yeah, the ad would end up costing Columbia Pictures $500,000, which seems like a lot of money for an ad that they're never going to see.
Yeah. You see precisely once, like during the launch, which nobody watches. Like,
but I know that's not the point. It's like about doing it more like for the hype or whatever. Like getting
it's a
people
publicity
talking about the
stunt.
movie.
It's like
exactly.
Yeah, it's like the
Word of
definition of
mouth.
a publicity stunt.
It's offering the jet.
Offering the what?
Offering the jet for Pepsi.
Oh, yeah.
It's like offering the jet.
Didn't we watch something about someone that like scammed his way into getting enough of that?
I didn't scam his way.
He didn't scam it. He won it.
He found a loophole.
Yeah. Pepsi, Where's My Jet? It's on Netflix. It's good.
Yeah, we did watch it. Okay, yes. But yeah, so in order to build that hype, they also partnered with AT&T to set up a 900 number where callers would leave a message that would be sent up into space with the rocket. Which I'm assuming they would have done by just like duct taping an old answering machine to the side of the like you put them all in the answering machine and then like duct tape it on the side of the rocket, you know?
Again, my question is like, for who?
Yeah.
Like, are the astronauts forced to listen to these messages? Or is it for aliens?
I think it's just like again, an advertising, like a promo gimmick. Like your stuff will be up in space.
That's
I don't know.
weird.
And this wasn't
Think
free,
of
by
how
the way.
Oh, yeah, that's true. It's a 900 number.
Yes.
Yeah.
Calling up that 900 number and leaving a message would put you back $3.50 per message.
Man, my dad made me pay the phone bill one time because I called my friend too many times. They had
Wait, what?
My friend had got a cell phone, and I don't know that it was a 900 number or what, but they got a cell phone.
It wasn't. Unless
and-
your friend was like a special friend.
No, it was not a special friend. Okay.
Okay.
But I called my friend so much on the landline to talk to them on their
Fucking
cell
John Locke
phone
over here.
that my dad made me pay the phone bill.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Eric learned money management really early. I didn't. But yeah, it also entered the $3.50 thing, whatever, or just the call in general, just entered you into a contest, the contest that Arnold mentioned, with the 2 winners joining Arnold for the launch and even helping him push the button that launches the rocket. Yeah, which I'm assuming he probably needed due to like it. I guess the button was probably small, and you got the sausage fingers. You know?
Yeah, I was like, why do you need help?
Your problem. Yeah, like that scene from The Simpsons where he's like, or Homer gets fat and he's trying to like dial a phone number.
And
the fingers you were dialing with are too fat.
Too fat. Yeah.
To obtain a special dialing warrant, mash the keypad with your palm down.
Fortunately for them, Arnold's extra beefy digits wouldn't be a problem because about 2 months later, Variety reported that NASA had confirmed that the rocket would not launch until at least July or August, which would be 1 to 2 months after the film was released. Columbia still tried to play it cool by saying that the delayed launch still worked as far as marketing for like the international release.
Sure.
But the media just spun it as pretty much like another sign that the movie's in trouble.
Yeah.
The launch eventually ended up being canceled completely, which I didn't write down, but it was like due to like the president of the company that NASA partnered with.
The marketing company?
Yeah. He wanted to get that going like as a thing, and there was such pushback against it that apparently they outlawed it in the US. They still do. This wasn't the first time that Russia was already doing this, like advertising in space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but they outlawed it in the US. Like
I thought you meant the concept of contests.
No.
NASA?
Advertising in
I was
space,
like,
sending
okay.
any sort of advertisement in space.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I think it was Clinton that ended up signing something that just completely outlawed it. But yeah, the launch being canceled didn't really get any coverage because at this point the movie had already been released. And like I'm saying, leading up to that release, the media would just latch onto any sort of negative news about the movie. And it's only because they were so supposedly, and that's what pretty much any sort of article that was saying about it, even after its release, they were like, oh, fuck this movie.
Yeah.
Like they came out of the gate, so like whatever, but
like overconfident.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Which sucks because that really hit like none of this stuff really has anything to do with the movie.
Yeah. And there was
the movie suffers for it.
Like I read an article that was it was old too, but it was talking about how how much influence the media has over how well movies do. But by doing that kind of stuff, like it called Sleepless in Seattle a sleeper hit before the movie came out. And like it was commenting on that, how it kept getting called a sleeper hit. And it was like, you can't be a sleeper hit if your movie hasn't come out yet.
Yeah.
Like that's something that what happened.
The data has to bear out afterwards. Like, yeah.
No, I mean, it's literally called Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh, see, they were just.
Well, then it can't be a sleeper hit, Joe. It has to be a sleepless hit.
No, the characters are sleepless in Seattle, but if you watch it anywhere not Seattle, then you'll be the sleeper.
Sleeping.
Yeah.
Right.
You'll be a sleeper.
You know what? I can't tell you that I've watched or purchased anything from Russia because I've seen their advertisements in space.
Yeah, I didn't even look. I didn't look into that.
That's why they lost the space race.
I don't.
Spending too much money on the
I
ads.
can't tell you that's worked for me.
I didn't look into that, but I was like, oh, interesting. Russia, like, if we are going to beat them in one thing, it will be shooting ads into space. I want dog ad, Stoyanovich ad in space. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, but as far as like the media latching on to stuff, like Entertainment Weekly's cover article the week before the movie came out was all about the negative rumors surrounding the film. Although I will admit it includes my favorite bit of info about the rocket launch, with them writing that the idea of advertising in space was getting pushback from the National Coalition on Television Violence. Apparently, they were picketing outside the Sony lot, and according to the article, they were, quote, calling for the studio to paint children's drawings about peace on the rocket instead, which, unquote, but like sounds like something like out of like a Simpsons episode that makes fun of hippies. Like,
for sure.
You gotta like.
Sounds like you're working for your car, man.
But like, it's just like when I read that, I was like, "What? Like, that's what you want?" I don't know.
Well, I mean, as I mentioned before, there's a whole uproar about this movie and violence in the media and everything, and without anybody realizing it's fucking with Donahue. Yeah, yeah.
So it was not looking good as far as marketing at this point. But at least it can't get any worse, right?
For sure, certainly.
Yeah. Let's find out by finishing off that quote from Arnold's book with him saying, quote, "We put up a 4-story tall inflatable statue of Jack Slater on a raft just off the beach at Cannes during the film festival in May. And I set a personal record there by giving 48 TV interviews and 54 print interviews in a single 24-hour period."
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And so the only thing I wanted to mention about the interview thing, and I can't remember where I read this, but anyway, was like how he'd gotten his answers down pretty much down to like 3 minutes. Or sorry, he got each interview down to 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And he's got his answers like to where they were like mechanical, like basically the journalist was like it kind of sucks for the interviewer, which I get, but also like I'm sure doing press junkets fucking suck.
Yeah. It
So it's kind of
he's trying to shove nearly 100 in just a single day.
Yeah.
It's like
let's just get it through.
Post-game interview, they're like, we just went out there and played the game and executed. And
Right.
Like, all right, what you can tell me about that? Be like, man, we executed. Be like, we're on to Cincinnati, Like,
that's why the crazy ones get so much attention, because it's like something that's
well, yeah, everybody's trying to fucking bait him into like giving them a good sound clip or whatever. But like the smart ones, will just be like, or even like Marshawn Lynch, because Marshawn Lynch is like a very like friendly and open guy, and he was like that at the beginning of his career, but the press kept taking a shit and doing it. So like at the Super Bowl, and he's like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. And like that was literally he said that at least 20 times. That was his answer to everything. Like, oh, Marshawn, tell me about this. He's like, I'm just here so I don't get fined. That's all he did.
Nice.
Okay, so as far as the 4-story inflatable Jack Slater that Arnold mentioned, it was the same one that they used in the movie during the Jack Slater premiere at the end.
That's cool.
Which they actually shot in New York City in Times Square. And I'm going to add a picture to the chat, but for anyone listening, it basically looks like a balloon you'd see at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. It's just like a big inflatable Jack Slater that's holding a gun in one hand and a police badge in the other hand. So they first used the balloon during filming in New York City, and then brought it to promote the film at the Cannes Festival. So sorry, Cannes Film Festival. It wasn't the Goat Festival that we or yeah. Was that what you said? Like, it sounds like a festival for goats or something like that.
Like Cannes,
I couldn't think of a better joke. I was like, anyway. Now I'm going to send a picture of the original version of the balloon, and I know it's not the best quality picture, but do you guys notice a difference between the two? I'm doubting because the picture quality is so shitty.
Some
but
scruff and
I mean, the gun
guns,
looks different. It's
double guns.
Yeah, the gun looks like it's deflated a little bit. Like it's like
I was almost wondering if it was supposed to be nunchucks instead of a gun.
Yeah, kind of looks like Stallone instead of Arnold.
It kind of does.
Or like Abraham Lincoln
like,
without his hat.
Well, yeah, it kind of looks like Jack Palance instead of Schwarzenegger.
But this version isn't holding a badge in its left hand.
Oh, it's not?
No.
Is that a grenade?
Was it the Infinity Gauntlet?
That's actually good. Like, it kind of looks like that. I was thinking like a meatball sub or something like that. Just kind of showing up like, look who's got a meatball sub. But it's actually a bundle of dynamite.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
is that a light pole that's right in front of his ding dong?
Yes.
That's great. That's lighting your subject matter right there.
Yeah. For anybody listening, this picture looks like it was took in like 1918.
Right?
Yes, definitely like World War I.
It definitely looks like it is 100% Abraham Lincoln.
It's all fucking black and white and grainy as shit.
Now I want to put a top hat on him.
He's all like ready to take over the South. Sorry.
It's based on one of the promo pictures for the film. It's with him holding a gun in one hand and a stick of dynamite in the other.
Yeah.
But
I think I've seen that. But why did they change it for the festival?
So they originally planned to use this version of the balloon for the film. It wasn't just the festival, but for the film, because like in the film he's holding the badge. Yeah. This version was all set up in on March 1st, 1993 in Times Square. Unfortunately, 3 days earlier, 6 people died and over 1,000 were injured when terrorists set off a bomb in the parking garage below the World Trade Center in an attempt to collapse the North Tower into the South Tower.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Yes. So people were understandably upset about a 75-foot inflatable man showing off his meatball sub looking dynamite. Basically they took it down, deflated it, and then changed the dynamite to a police badge. What?
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I'm just a giant German man holding some dynamite. It's like, that sounds more like Die Hard than a Schwarzenegger movie.
Man, he cannot catch a break with
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Like this movie, it's just one thing after another.
No, I mean,
yeah, which we'll get to in a second. But
World Trade Center stuff for him is just not going in his favor.
Well, you'd think like at least one person involved with it. This happened 3 days after. Like they put that up 3 days after the bombing. So you'd think that like at least one person would have been like, maybe a bomb's a bad choice. You know?
Yeah, that's
nothing.
Well, I mean,
and like
I don't know how long it takes to switch out what inflate a fucking 10-story inflatable dude is holding. So you don't know.
Well, yeah, but
also what was blown up was a bunch of manure in a van. What was that? They didn't throw a bunch of TNT in there.
Well, I don't know. That TNT kind of looked like a handful of manure.
I'm surprised we don't have a quote from the head of marketing saying that. Also, it was manure, okay?
Yeah.
There wasn't TNT. Come on. Anyway, and yeah, like Eric was saying, Arnold has a complicated relationship with those towers because just a few years later, another one of his films would encounter a similar issue when the collateral damage crew was forced to take down their 4-story balloon of Schwarzenegger because he was holding a can of jet fuel in one hand and then he was had one of those Red Sox pennants in the other hand, which was just a weird marketing tactic to put in New York City. I don't know. Plus, what did that have to do with the movie? What did that have to do with the movie?
Stupid.
Anyway, okay, sorry. And then before we get back to filming, the last thing I wanted to mention about the marketing has to do with the film's poster design, and is probably my favorite of the behind-the-scenes stories.
This dinosaur with a nun in the background I don't remember seeing.
Dinosaur with a nun?
Yeah, on this
Oh,
poster.
yeah. I forgot to put the poster up there. A nun?
Looks like it. That looks like a habit.
Oh, wait. Nun. Oh, yeah. It's a nun ends up at the funeral shooting at them because everyone starts pulling out guns.
Oh, yeah.
With Leo the Fart. He passed gas one last time, you know? I love that joke. Shane Black is a genius. Anyway, okay, so sorry. So as a way to be more accessible as an executive producer, Arnold set himself up in a 40-foot long trailer on the Sony lot. During filming. And apparently due to having final say over all aspects of the film's marketing and promotional material, he had a phone installed with a direct line to the marketing executives' offices, whose executives he would summon throughout the day and would often be seen running back and forth from the Sony offices to Arnold's trailer, which is just awesome that he's got that kind of power and making them just run back and forth as he's tinkering with stuff.
Yeah. He's got his own personal bat phone just to tell him they fucked up something.
Exactly. So one day, he summons the VP of marketing to the trailer to discuss the film's poster. And supposedly, Arnold was not happy with the poster. He wasn't a fan, supposedly telling the executive that, quote, "My hair isn't flying. No matter how much hairspray you have, with the wind in the hair, it should be flying all over the place." Yeah. He insists the poster be redrawn in order to bring them from, quote, "a totally static look to something that represents what the film is saying, which is bang!" Unquote. He then allegedly pulled out an alternate poster that he had commissioned without informing the studio, which supposedly pissed off the marketing department. This supposedly led to Mark Canton, the head of the studio, running over to Arnold's trailer, not to yell at him or even give him a hard time, but to assure him that, we're going to keep working on the poster until you're happy, basically. Which I'm whatever. I don't know. At this point, you're just okay, this guy's in charge.
Yeah.
To be fair, if you look behind me, Arnold's hair does look like it's flying in that poster.
Sure.
Very much so.
So they nailed that part at least.
Yeah.
Apparently it was not slicked, but not flying.
Perfectly coiffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
As all things should be.
Okay. So getting back to the actual filming of the movie. So before getting sidetracked, we were about halfway through principal photography, with production moving to New York City at the beginning of March, where they spend a little over a week pulling a double whammy by shooting on location in Times Square, while also inadvertently offending the public with their giant Arnold balloon. And the balloon wasn't the only thing being deflated, because it was during this time that Arnold first begins worrying about the film, which I don't think actually works as far as the whole deflated metaphor I was going for. But you guys get what I mean.
His enthusiasm was deflated.
Yeah, there you go.
Ego a little bit.
Yeah. So to set up the quote from Arnold, and also because I don't think I mentioned it before, which is dumb because it's supposedly part of the reason that the film bombed, but Last Action Hero was always supposed to be rated PG-13. There was never any, it was...
Huh.
Yes. With Hit and Run, the book Hit and Run, claiming that a survey at the time had shown that a PG-rated film was 3 times more likely to make $100 million at the box office than an R-rated film. Which I think it's always still...
Wait, you said
that's
PG.
Yeah, so the lower the rating, I'm assuming. Just because...
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh, so PG versus R is 3 times more likely, but what about PG-13?
PG-13, they didn't have the thing for, but I'm assuming it can't be far off.
Also, when was PG-13 invented?
Right after Temple of Doom.
Right after Temple.
So 85 or 84, 85.
Yeah, gotcha.
Which I was just reading about it and I was like, what are you doing? Why are you wasting your this? You're not going to talk about this at all, are you? Nope. Okay, then stop reading about it. Because I was like, oh, what was the first PG-13 movie? But now I could have told you guys, but I don't remember because I stopped reading about it. Anyway, okay. And then in order to cash in on that, by appealing to the widest possible audience, Last Action Hero was first rewritten and then eventually shot as a PG-13 film.
Got it.
Yes.
Because white people love PG-13 films.
Do they?
I don't know. Sorry. You said whitest, and I kept hearing whitest.
Oh, widest. Yes. Oh. Widest.
Yes.
Well, I heard widest too.
Yes. No, to the widest. Widest.
Yep.
W-I-D-E-S-T.
To the widest possible audience.
No, the wide. Like, I don't know. W-I-D-E. Widest.
Yeah.
Widest. Anyway. So, yeah, according to Arnold's book, apparently a late night conversation with John McTiernan during these 8 days that they were filming in New York was when he realized there might be an issue, saying, quote, John always had great clarity of vision, and on Last Action Hero, that gave me my first hint of trouble. We were having a drink after shooting until 3 a.m. one night in New York, and John said, what we're really making here is E.T. When I heard that, I had a sinking feeling that maybe the whole PG-13 thing was a mistake. Even though we had a kid co-star in the movie, people might not buy me doing a family-friendly action film. That was okay for Harrison Ford and Raiders of the Lost Ark, but not for me. I'd made these comedies, of course, but those were different because no one expects you to blow people up in a comedy. When you're selling a movie with the word action in the title, you better deliver some. Conan 2 had fizzled because we'd made it PG. Now we were betting we could pack enough amazing stunts and energy to make Last Action Hero live up to its name. End quote. And I'm sorry if I'm sitting in the office, but I'm pretty sure John McTiernan's E.T. comment was meant less as like an insightful take on like, it wasn't like insightful, like, you know what we are making here? It kind of seems like we're making E.T. Yeah. It wasn't meant like that. It was more like a dude that's just exhausted from working 18 hours a day on a movie that bears like very little resemblance to the one he actually signed on for.
Yeah.
He's fucking tired at this point, basically. Yeah. Also, that quote had me super looking forward to watching Conan the Destroyer now. Am I right?
Yeah, that's going to be great.
The whole time I was watching the first one, I was thinking, man, this movie would be so much better if you didn't have all that icky like violence and nudity in it. Ugh.
Yeah. You know what this movie needed? Less titties, less blood.
Yeah. The more we learn about this, the more I see why it was a flop. But I've always watched this movie and been like, this movie's fucking good.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
Like it just sounds like it's a victim of its own, like, and we'll get to this when we actually fucking watch the movie and like get done. Not even like a little bit of hubris.
No, on the studio's part for sure.
The hubris is the money making part, but
yes.
the
you would mean the actual
the rest
film.
of it. Yeah, the actual film is a little victim of its own circumstance. Like a lot of people just trying to like, we want to make like the best movie, but we feel like we're going this way or that way, so we might want to not do that. And then the studio just being like, let's fucking make money. I think if it weren't like an Arnold movie in 1993,
yeah,
it would have been fine. But they just kind of they fumbled the bag.
I just agree with what John McTiernan said. Like, if they just would have toned down the fucking marketing and just like, because he, like he said, it's not a gigantic film. Like it's like a smaller kind of story. So
it's basically your fucking rich dick white guy who fucking like goes to like Duke or whatever and like fucking gets like a couple too many DUIs and has become CEO, you know, and they're like, oh,
like Emilio Estevez from the Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, he's basically that. Like, yeah, he's still fucking extremely successful, but yeah, he's not like the fucking 8th richest man in the world. He's like the 247th, like, oh, what a fucking disaster. It's like, no, fuck that. Like, you had fucking lightning in a bottle, or not lightning in a bottle, actually, the opposite of that, but.
It's
lightning outside the bottle or bottle inside lightning. I don't know.
The head of Columbia dude is just a fucking idiot. Like, which we'll find out as it goes further along. Even though we kind of already showed it. Anyway, okay. So as far as Last Action Hero, I think it goes without saying that the closer they got to the film's immovable release date, the more stressful things were becoming. Especially for John McTiernan, who would tell Empire Magazine in 2012 that the last stretch of production was, quote, the worst time I've ever had in this business. And keep in mind that directing Rollerball basically resulted in that fucker going to prison. So his first day there was probably like 8-hour work days. Nice. Hell yeah. There's actually a story in that same Empire article that's like a great example of how tight of a schedule they were under while filming. It comes from Austin O'Brien, and he's talking about working with an obviously stressed out John McTiernan. He says, quote, I do remember that the deeper we got in, John looked more tired, more haggard. He was great with me. When we got something right, he turned into a little kid and started jumping around. But there was one day when I got a sense of how under the gun he was. We'd built a New York skyline inside the studio, and I was hanging from a gargoyle wearing a harness. So it was one of the last scenes of the movie. But anyway, so he says, it was so tight that I literally couldn't breathe. But I was too nervous to say anything, and I passed out for a few seconds. People were cutting off my clothes, and it got kind of scary. But I do remember McTiernan coming up afterwards and saying, in situations like these, I don't care what's happening. You tell me and we'll fix it. Don't be afraid. You haven't done anything wrong, but we cannot afford to stop shooting. Uncool. But yeah.
Wait, those are two completely different messages, aren't they?
Yeah. So
wait, I don't understand. Like, he said, hey, your safety, no matter what happens, you got to tell me when shit like that is happening, so we can fix it.
I think he meant just the fact that. Sorry, this is just me sticking it for John McTiernan, I guess. But I think he meant that, if it's too tight, you got to tell us before it becomes an issue where you pass out and we have to wait for you.
Because the real problem with this situation is we just wasted, 45 seconds waiting for you to wake up. That was fucking. That's like $500,000
exactly.
right there.
When we could have we had to wait for you to wake up, and then they had to double check you, and there's an hour gone now when we could have just loosened the straps, So just tell us next time.
I get where the boss man's coming from. It's just like, look, if you die, we're fucked. So don't die. So if you tell us,
we'll too late in this thing to recast.
We'll spend 3 minutes having you not die, but we want to spend 25 minutes of you dying because fuck.
Or a Bruce Lee Enter the Dragon thing with him. If he dies, where they're what are they doing with they're using doubles and stuff like that, or something.
I don't know.
Brendan Lee? Brendan Lee with the crow.
Brendan Lee with the crow. Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
The end of the movie. Rest in peace.
Unquote. But McTiernan basically admitted in that same article that the reason the tone of the movie is kind of all over the place is because the head of the studio, which was Mark Canton, kept going back and forth about whether Last Action Hero should be more of a kids movie or more of an action movie, which McTiernan says led to a watered down version of the script. And that as they entered the last few weeks of production, they were, quote, just trying to get the damn thing finished. It also seems like the stress was making McTiernan paranoid, with Shane Black talking about a time that he and David Arnott visited the set, and one of the studio executives told him that they should stop by Arnold's trailer, which they did. Apparently this pissed off John McTiernan, who later accused them of conspiring against him. And this just makes me definitely start seeing how this is the same dude who went to prison for lying to the FBI about hiring someone to illegally wiretap the roller. Because he ended up hiring someone to illegally wiretap the Rollerball producer's phone. Once he started having problems on Rollerball, he's probably getting flashbacks from Last Action Hero. Was like, never again, never again, and then just hire someone to, I don't know.
Yeah, the only difference is whatever illegal shit he pulled on Last Action Hero, he didn't get caught for.
Yeah.
It's not a crime if you don't get charged.
It's true.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But not everyone was having a bad time. It seems like most of the actors enjoyed the experience. Austin O'Brien speaks pretty fondly of it, as does Charles Dance, who spoke very highly of Arnold, saying, quote, he creates an extraordinary atmosphere on set because everybody in the film business is rampant with insecurity and paranoia. Which, apparently.
Yeah.
Everybody's nauseatingly nice to each other for fear of their next job. But the more I worked, the more I realized that the good atmosphere actually came from Arnold, unquote. I kind of have a feeling that Arnold, he just kind of seems like he brings that energy to any movie set that he's working on.
Yeah, for sure.
But I wouldn't be surprised if he dialed it up a little bit for this movie due to him being executive producer and the director being under an incredible amount of basically having to bring the situation back after you got John McTiernan oh my God.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You guys are conspiring against me. He's joking. Come on. Then storming off. I don't know.
The only other thing I know Charles Dance from is from Game of Thrones, and he's fucking amazing in that. And I know you haven't watched it, Aaron, because it's fantasy. And okay, really the prime time of that show was when fucking Charles Dance was on it, because that guy he's just the beast. I don't know a better way to put it, but him as a fucking character and him as an actor and him as whatever fucking Dad Lannister, whatever his name is. And that scene when he's talking to Tywin. Yeah. And that scene when he's talking to the other kid and he's fucking taking the skin off a deer or whatever. I'm like, this guy's fucking amazing.
Like just the good acting, or the character's a badass, or just both?
It's both. A well-written character, but he's probably like perfectly cast in it.
Gotcha.
Perfectly cast.
Yeah.
So I imagine either he is going to be like the fucking best dude, like a fucking professional. You know, he's just out there like carving it, like cut. And you're like, oh man, hey, fucking good take, or good take, governor. I don't know how British people talk. You know, he's out there and you're just like, yeah.
If he went from being super intimidating to hello,
that's a fucking good cake, governor. I'm hungry. I am. Where's craft service? I don't know. I can't do British. Anyways, he's either like that or just a giant fucking asshole. But what you're saying about him and like Arnold bringing the levity and everything, I'm just hoping he was out there fucking giving a good time. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, that guy seems cool as fuck. And I'm glad he was in Game of Thrones and in Last Action Hero. I'm glad he's saying good things about Last Action Hero because it makes me feel better about Game of Thrones. Because later on in that show, things probably didn't go so well, but let's see here and there.
Yeah, he definitely had a good time with this. Yeah, so anyway, the only other thing I wanted to mention that happened during these last few weeks of production was that Arnold received the International Star of the Decade Award at the 1993 Show West Convention in Las Vegas, which was hosted by the National Association of Theater Owners, or NATO, which was an odd choice because that acronym was definitely already being used by the time, but like by a much more well-known organization, like when they came up with that, but whatever, I guess.
North American Tang Observers, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
The people who make sure Tang's good.
They did actually change their name in March of this year to Cinema United. So, yeah, which hopefully inspires the Independent Theater Owners Coalition, the ITOC, to do the same.
Okay, so if you're a man in that, you're Cinema United Men, so you're cum.
See, like that's exactly why I was like, I wanted the Independent Theater Owners Coalition to do the same, which is ITOC. Maybe they'll unblock me on Instagram for suggesting that they change their name to the Coalition of Unaffiliated National Theaters because their theaters are usually filled with a bunch of pretentious CUNTs, you know?
I mean, this is basically the fucking Team America thing where it's like Screen Actors Guild, Film Actors Guild.
Yeah, exactly.
You can figure out the acronym.
Yeah, exactly. Joe's is better because it was off the top of his head and mine took me an hour to write, but whatever. Probably longer than an hour.
I always got cum coming off the top of my head. God damn it.
Cum's just on Joe's tongue for some reason.
Yeah.
God damn it. All right.
Tip of its tongue.
Cum on the tip of the tongue. All right, cut all this out.
Okay.
No, it's comedy gold. I can't.
It's comedy gold.
Okay.
Anyway. Okay. So,
okay, now we got to leave it in because of that.
Show West, which is actually a convention that's still held today, although it's called CinemaCon now. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah, I've heard of CinemaCon.
Okay, which and I believe it's CinemaCon. So it's a convention, yeah. I believe it's 5 days long, and according to their website, it's the largest and most important gathering of movie theater owners from around the world. It was also, and still seems to be, a pretty important event for movie studios as well, who use the event to persuade the attending theater owners to book their movies because they're going to be huge box office hits that you should probably, like, you got to put them in multiple theaters because these movies are going to be huge. So it's basically, from what I understand, they did this by hosting a presentation event that seems like it's similar to the San Diego Comic-Con panels.
Yeah. It's the CinemaCon is now a huge source of trailers. The same way the Comic-Con used to be in. Yeah.
So they show extended trailers or reels from upcoming big releases, which I believe sometimes include intros or panels featuring the actors that star in the films. Like the pictures that I were looking at back then had like a bunch, like a Sylvester Stallone and Sharon. I was going to say Stone, but yeah, I was going to say Stallone, but yeah, Sharon Stone and like a bunch of actors. But
Sharon Tate.
It's still yes. She it was her ghost actually, but the one they had this year was what I say. It was in March, I think. But Tom Cruise was there. He had pictures of Leonardo DiCaprio, like still like a bunch of, there was Ryan Gosling on stage. I think the Thunderbolts did a panel.
Oh, okay.
And Disney is like the only, there was an article complaining about the fact that Disney is the only one that live streams it because it's extremely
exclusive.
Yes. To the press and to theater owners. So there's trailers that they do sync to drop now. Like that Naked Gun trailer came out.
Yeah, during CinemaCon.
Yes, after it debuted from that. it's obviously changed a little bit because they'll actually drop trailers. But before, like back in '93, they would see stuff before anybody else.
Yeah.
Quick question. You said Tom Cruise was there and he had pictures of Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, sorry. There were pictures of on their website of Tom Cruise and Leonardo DiCaprio.
Okay.
They were there. Yes,
I think
he was passing out pictures of. Sorry, maybe I did.
Like I don't know. Either you didn't or didn't, but that's what I heard.
He was passing out pictures of Leonardo DiCaprio.
He's just signing it. I don't know what he was signing. Would Tom Cruise sign a picture of Leonardo DiCaprio as Tom Cruise, or would he sign it as Leonardo DiCaprio?
I mean, all I can think of is Lenny signing his own picture and giving it to Homer, though. But yeah,
okay. This is completely off topic, but if you ever got a office job, Aaron, this has been in my brain for 20 years. I am going to do that. Like I've been waiting because
take a framed picture,
a framed picture of me. And it says, "Have a good summer, Joe," and you're gonna put that on your fucking desk. So
you gotta do it. You gotta do it as as like an actual like a headshot, though.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a headshot. So I'm just saying, like, I've kept this a secret forever.
I mean, you can do it now and we can hang it up.
I've never had it.
No, I know. I'm just trying to think. Like, I mean, I could do. Yeah,
but I think what he's really aiming for is the awkward conversations you have to have with your coworkers.
I mean, it wouldn't be awkward for me. It's just,
like, why is it
for other people? Who's this guy?
Yeah.
Why is this 40-year-old guy saying "Have a good summer"?
Like, that's Joe.
Yeah.
They just don't explain past that. But yeah, so basically it's like Comic-Con, but like not.
Yeah, I think the reason a lot of like, especially before a lot of trailers didn't come out, is because they're selling to theater owners. So
yes,
it's not like
they wanted exclusive and
yeah. It's also not always like trailers. It's also just like clips from the movies.
Like,
probably shit that's unfinished.
Yeah,
like, so
I'm assuming it's a lot more finished now though, because if they're gonna
yeah.
But yeah, it's a very big event now. But I'm pretty sure it was a smaller scale back in the day because like even Comic-Con wasn't always like the big announcement event that it is now, right? Which I guess would make sense because superhero movies weren't like a huge thing until
like movies were not a thing that you got at Comic-Con until like the mid 2000s. Like I guess there was some stuff earlier than that, but it wasn't. That was not the point. Comic-Con really was like just a bunch of comic nerds, and that's it. It's very
and then
it's
Joe
very
pushing him around.
Okay. I was saying I went to one Comic-Con. That was 2003. I probably mentioned this before on the show, but no. Brett and I met Stan Lee. He's like, "Hey guys, how's it going?"
But you guys like cut in line, did you?
Okay, that's a different story. Yeah, we just like cut in line. We're just like, stand here. I'm like, what's this line for? I'm like, Alfred Molina. I'm like,
hell yeah.
Cool. Everybody was just like handling. I had no idea who that was. I went up there, fucking talked to him like, hey man, big fan. He's like, thanks. And he signed a Spider-Man 2 hat and he like gave it to me. I'm like, cool. I'm like, I have no idea who this fucking guy is.
Oh, you mean like a baseball cap that says Spider-Man 2? Yes. I thought you meant you got Doc Ock's fedora signed by Doc Ock.
No, he was just like signing shit or whatever. I didn't know who he was. Like,
I think your story was like, I just walked in front of somebody and like, what are they going to do? Fucking nerds?
they did that. Oh, and that was the other thing. We did that in another line too, and they're like, oh, it's for the hobbits or whatever. I'm like, cool. And it was like Elijah Wood and fucking
Dominic
Sam.
Monaghan and
No. Sean Astin and everything. And like everybody kept like pushing towards the front, and those fuckers like Elijah Wood and fucking Sean Astin. They got fucking scared and they like left and they were like running and motherfuckers were chasing them.
Jesus Christ!
Like they were like, we got to get away from these fucking nerds.
Crazy.
It's like the Simpsons. Bimon Sci-Fi Con.
It was like the Simpsons.
With Luke Skywalker.
Actually,
exactly.
I left my lightsaber in there. Nope, got it right here. Never mind.
Hey, wait! I thought your ankle was hurt. Think about that is.
But yeah, it got pretty intense. But I think that was like right on the like cusp of being like comic,
like being
like
huge.
comics con, and then what.
So wait, were they doing
everything? So
were they doing the panels and stuff. Obviously,
they were. So but the thing is about Hall H is like the big hall.
Yeah.
And that's where they do all the huge movie releases now. But back in the day, there weren't that many huge movie releases. So you might get one or two of those. Like nowadays, if you go to Hall H, Warner Brothers will do a presentation. They'll do like 2 comic book movies, and then they'll just give you a bunch of other shit. Like a bunch of their other big summer blockbusters.
Oh, nothing comic related?
Yeah. Like I saw the Mad Max Fury Road trailer there. I saw trailers for a bunch of horror movies when I was in there. Yeah, just, it's just studios unloading.
We got 2
trailers.
hours, so we might
exactly.
fill up the time.
But back in the day, it's like there was 1 or 2 really big panels, and then it was just a bunch of, bullshit. It was just a bunch of...
I don't remember the one time we went. I don't remember any panels.
Well, that would have been Spider-Man 2, obviously, right? So that would have been like...
Yeah.
Also, you have to like plan to go to the panels. They're not just happening on the con floor.
So you have to like... You have to like get in line and stuff.
Yeah. For Hall H, you have to like... At least when I was going...
Lines? They don't mean shit.
Yeah, clearly.
Apparently.
Clearly.
Out of the way,
it was a total dick move. It was a total dick move by me, but it was just so...
Yeah, somebody didn't get to see Elijah Wood and Sean Astin run away because of you.
Yeah. I just like walked up there and was like, I'm standing here now, and I was like, cool.
It's one less person who got to meet Alfred Molina of Frida.
I had that fucking Spider-Man 2 hat signed by him for a long time.
You put
Somehow
it on the entertainment center.
Yeah, at the big house. Somehow it got very moldy.
Ew.
And eventually at some point, like, the mold took over the bill which he signed on. And I'm like, this is kind of useless now. And I think I just chucked it.
That's so weird.
So that's my Alfred Molina story. So, hey, Alfred, if you're listening, first of all, thank you. Second of all, get on the show. Maybe give me another hat. Like, go for it. I know who you are now. I'm a big fan now. I was lying in 2003, but in 2025, I'm not.
That's no reason to give me a moldy hat.
Exactly.
Anyways, back on topic.
Okay. So Show West 1993 was held at Bally's, Las Vegas. Which
I thought you meant Total Fitness.
Yeah.
Well, there's got to be a gym in there somewhere. Like, it's the same company, right?
I think you're right. I don't know.
Or was the same company?
No.
I don't know.
They just seem. I swear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, there's also the pinball company, Bally's.
I don't know anything about that.
Yeah. Anyway, so Columbia hosted a luncheon because that's what they did back then. They did luncheons.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think it was nearly as big. So Columbia hosted a luncheon that included Arnold introing a 4-minute Last Action Hero trailer, and then the Columbia execs hyping it up, saying it's more than just a movie. It's the epitome of a film for the entire global marketplace. Which,
damn.
Yeah, whatever. But yeah, the luncheon part is also why I think it was like a smaller film, which whatever. At least they're consistent with their praise, I guess.
Sure.
Sure.
Anyway, there were 2 reasons I brought this up to convention. One has to do with the impact on theaters when it was released, which we'll end up talking about later, which I actually forgot to include. But I'll get back to it. Anyway, but the other is how Universal handled their presentation of Jurassic Park, which was basically the complete opposite approach that from the way Columbia presented Last Action Hero. So from what I found, it seems like Jurassic Park wasn't announced as part of Show West, even though Universal did end up holding an event for it. So according to the Chicago Tribune, according to a Chicago Tribune article, instead of holding a luncheon, which I believe was was anyone can attend those. Like that was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Instead of holding a luncheon, apparently Universal rented out one of Bally's suites where they hosted a jungle-themed invite-only screening shindig of the Jurassic Park trailer for about 100 exhibitors, which I'm assuming were the owners of like the big theater chains.
Yeah.
And Universal reportedly accomplished 2 things by doing this. One was generating positive buzz for the trailer, while also alienating pretty much anyone not invited to the screening. Like any of the theater owners, which I'm sure Universal was like, so?
And?
Yeah, exactly. What are they going to do? Not show Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. I want you to understand, but it's like, it's just weird. Like, I find it interesting how Universal continues to show how confident they are that Jurassic Park is going to be successful without resorting to any of like the boastful bullshit that Columbia was pulling with Last Action Hero.
Yeah.
Like confident enough to where they're actually excluding potential theater owners from trailer screenings because they know they're going to book the movie.
Yeah, of course. They're not going to have any choice.
You're just
if they want to make if they want to make money during the summer, they're going to have to play our movie.
Exactly.
That's it.
So again, it just reminds me of that Mad Men meme, like taken the wrong way, but still, like, it's like I don't fucking think about you at all, dude. Like,
yeah.
So moving on. Filming wraps on Last Action Hero either April 1st, April 3rd, depending on the source, which, as I believed I mentioned before, or which left 10 weeks for post-production instead of the average. And I think it was, like, according to Google search, was like 6 months. Like anywhere between, So 10 weeks, what?
That's 2.5 months.
2.5 months, yeah. In order to do this, the post-production team ended up working 6 18-hour days per week for 10 goddamn weeks.
Jesus.
Which I was going to say was insane, but then it made me curious. Like, do you guys think that this consisted of different shifts that didn't stop for 18 hours? Or is it like, did each individual person end up working 18-hour shifts 6 days a week? Because like each person working 18-hour shifts 6 days a week is fucking crazy, especially when you consider the time it takes to wind down after a shift. And I'm curious if like these, like after working a week of these shifts, you're so tired that it's like, there's no wind down. Like it's just, you just fall fucking asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I don't know. Like, there's no way that they wouldn't mention if it was like, yeah, they were working like it was a 18-hour overall shift.
Yeah, no,
but it was different people.
And I think people in film,
it's like working in the Men in Black.
Yeah, exactly. No, I think people in film are used to working like that because film is kind of feast or famine, right? You're either working on a movie or you're not.
Yeah.
If you're not working on a movie, you're doing nothing.
Sleeping and making up the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Working on the movie. So yeah, in order to relieve stress, Columbia reportedly hired an in-house masseuse, which just reminded me of like the half-assed gestures that they pull at restaurants when they're like, well, you know, you're working on Christmas, even though you requested it off, but it's okay because we bought you guys Costco pizza.
Because we allowed you guys to have a potluck in the break room.
Exactly. It only cost us $9.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but we...
Like, you can't use any of our silverware, though. It costs money to actually wash.
Whoa. You know you're not supposed to be drinking the soda. Okay? Jesus.
Yeah.
Wasn't that... Weren't we like... I don't think we're allowed to open the apple juices at the restaurant, Erica?
I don't know.
Something like that. But the apple juices were like actually like treetop apple juices that you would have to like, you know, like
treetop. They didn't even spring from Martinelli.
Nah, they got upset about the waters with somebody one time too, and I was like, it's Dasani. Nobody wants to drink that anyway. They'd rather drink the tap.
Yeah, I'm drinking this because I'm desperate.
Right? Like, no.
I quickly looked it up. Bally Total Fitness, Bally's / Midway, the pinball company, and Bally's Betting are all kind of related. They've all been kind of exchange hands over and over and over, but they're not like separate like other companies that have the same name.
It's not the same company though.
It's not, but they're all. It's like
it might be a situation where one company was split into 3 parts, like 3 divisions.
Not necessarily that. It's kind of like you know, a couple of people whose last name is Smith.
Oh, okay.
You know, like they're related. It doesn't mean it's father and son. You know, it's like
I see. Okay, gotcha.
Anyways, so for some reason, about halfway through post-production, Columbia Pictures, specifically Mark Canton, watched the movie and decided that even though they hadn't finished the film's score or finished the special effects for the action scenes or finished dubbing it yet, which made a lot of the dialogue impossible to understand, despite all that, Mark Canton was like, hey, let's have a test screening. Like, it was so unfinished that even Arnold later admitted that the movie was, quote, shown in the roughest form I've ever seen a movie screened.
Jesus.
So they were really setting themselves up for success on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on May 1st...
Here's the worst version of this movie you could possibly see. What are your notes?
So on May 1st, 1993, they held a screening just north of Long Beach in Lakewood, California. And in addition to John McTiernan and Arnold, Columbia's top executives were also in attendance. A research firm filled the 1,000-seat theater, which is a fucking... Is that a gigantic theater?
That's a big theater, I think.
That's like that IMAX theater? That's got to be close to...
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah. They filled it with an audience that was unaware of what film they'd be watching, which I'm pretty sure is how it always works with test audiences, right? Like,
yeah, I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to know in advance.
Yeah, like I signed up for a thing where you can be a part of a test audience, and the only info they give you beforehand is what type of movie it's going to be. and I think maybe the potential rating. Like, I know Vanessa ended up going to Wicked, but I think she's like, I don't know if it's going to be Wicked or Mufasa. So
so it was just like family movie or whatever?
Yeah.
I did that at SF State in like 2006, and it was like a kind of, it was like a American Idol type thing. I don't remember if it was like this was 19 years ago. I don't remember if it was like a satire on it or like a trying to capitalize on American Idol.
Oh, you mean the movie was about like an American Idol contest?
Oh, so
I remember that movie. What was that called?
I have no idea what you guys are talking about.
There was shit.
Well, that might have been a different movie, or it just came out many years later. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But there was like there was one with fucking Andy Samberg that came out like a couple.
Oh, that was
within it was not
Popstar?
No, not Popstar. Was it Popstar?
It was not that. It was not a comedy.
The Hot Rod movie?
Yes.
Hot Rod?
It was the Hot Rod movie. Yes. No.
Is that what it's called? Hot Rod?
Yeah. Hot Rod, yes.
I haven't seen that, but I heard it's good.
Yeah, it's not
Me too. No, it wasn't one of those. It was something else.
Did other stuff?
It was an Andy Samberg movie?
No, I'm saying it is not the Andy Samberg movie. Jesus Christ.
So it was kind of like Popstar, but it wasn't Popstar.
American
exactly.
Dreams.
American Dreams. When did that come out? That's the movie
that I was thinking of. Sorry.
When did that come out?
That was 2006. April 2006.
Okay, then it was probably that, yeah.
Yeah.
Good movie, huh?
I've never seen it.
Obviously, if you can remember the...
I've seen it, and I watched test screening, and it was...
So you gave it a...
Yeah.
I mean, did you give scorecards?
I don't remember. This was 19 years ago. They were barking up the wrong fucking bush, all right? Like, a bunch of fucking, like, early 20s jaded fucking San Francisco State kids are not going to give a fuck about that movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, according to the Nancy Griffith book Hit and Run, the test audience started hooting and hollering with excitement once it was announced that they'd be watching an Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Huh. Unfortunately, the excitement didn't last long once they witnessed exactly how incomplete the movie was, with the book saying that the audience started becoming bored about halfway through it. And by the third act, when Danny and Slater cross over into the real world, the audience was basically sitting there in a catatonic state.
Jesus.
With one person later saying, quote, "The movie lay there like a big fried egg." Unquote. And I know that's supposed to be like, it sounds like it's not supposed to be a good thing, but I love some fried eggs. I'm like, you get a couple slices of toast, some hash browns, maybe a little hot sauce, baby, you got a breakfast going. Like, it sounds good to me. But I get that's not supposed to be a good, like a big fried egg.
I don't
know, because I'm like, a fried egg, what did you add it to? Because that sounds great.
Like, when you said you had fried egg, like, I had a fried egg this morning, I was like, oh, that sounds good. And it reminded me of this.
You just took me back to breakfast right now, and I was like, oh, that was a good breakfast.
I mean, shit, I can't wait till Laura fucking hears this episode, because good Lord, that woman has been obsessed with, that's my wife, obsessed with eggs recently. Like, it's a whole thing where I'm like, I'm going to the store, don't say it. Don't fucking say it. Get eggs. And then I buy eggs, and then like 3 days later, I'm like, oh, I want an egg. And they're all fucking hard-boiled or eaten. That woman's just obsessed with eggs now. It's a whole joke.
Wait, she's just like hard-boiling them, then like eating them?
Well, okay, she's very specific. She doesn't hard-boil them. It's medium-boiled at best. But she's just like...
Wait, medium-boiled? How does that... Does it leave like...
The yolk is runnier, right?
The yolk's a little runny. So it's good in like ramen and stuff. But I don't know. That woman's just been fucking obsessed with eggs like the last like 3 months. Of course, that's when the prices go up. So, I mean, fuck, who did I marry? Jesus Christ.
There's a song from Land Before Time 2 that I got to send you.
About eggs?
Is it like the forbidden fruit or something?
No, it's just about eggs.
So,
okay.
Do you guys do like egg salad? Because I like egg salad. No? Chris?
No.
I like eggs pretty much every way. But
I mean, I like your head down to your legs.
Stupid.
That was a song from the 90s. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Stupid.
What's it? Your head down to your legs?
I like eggs. From my head down to my legs.
All right.
No. Anyway.
Speaking of eggs, I had a conversation yesterday. My friend was drinking some water and then started choking. I'm like, yeah, who's fucking dumb? This is why God doesn't exist, because like whose fucking idea was to have like the drinking hole and the breathing hole in the same place in your throat? And he was like, yeah, I saw some like TikTok of like whose idea was to have the balls on the outside? And I'm like, yeah, that's dumb. I was like, elephants don't have that. I'm like, yeah, but elephants could, they have a trunk. They could just, go and, suck their own balls with their trunk. So why? So maybe that is a proof of God. Maybe God doesn't want you to fucking suck your own balls because elephants would be doing all day, but their balls are on the inside. So it kind of shook my world.
See,
I would say that.
What's that line from Forgetting Sarah Marshall? It's
why do dogs?
No, it's Jack McBrayer is having trouble having sex with his wife on their honeymoon, and he's like, I just don't understand why God would put a playground next to a sanitation dump or something like that.
Well, the whole thing with that makes, anytime anyone mentions evolution, for some reason, my mind goes to, yeah, that makes sense because, your butthole is, exactly the way it should be. Because, imagine, it has to be exactly that tight, but exactly able to do what it does, because otherwise you'd have to buy a plug for it. Because there'd be, but then I start thinking, there'd be this whole industry of, plugs that you have to buy, I just bought a plug, for it. Check out this new plug that I got, the new plug or whatever, just, because it's not tight enough. So it's the weirdest thing because every time I think, then I start thinking about man, don't tell people this. This is fucking weird. Don't tell people this.
Well, I will tell you this: you've never been in the Dead Sea because
what? I don't know what that means, Joe.
If you're in there, you're pure clenched that whole time because that salt water will get into your butthole super fast.
Wait, so
really?
You can
what?
Can you? Does it just hurt?
It just hurt. It's just the ocean's salty, the ocean's salty, but fucking Dead Sea is fucking the ocean's a little bitch.
Can't you float?
Oh no, yeah,
super easy to float.
It's so much.
I don't think anybody's ever drowned in the Dead Sea before because I don't think that's possible. Because it's fucking super salty, but you have to clench your beehole.
Okay, so you're just saying the salt gets everywhere.
Yeah, it's coarse.
Okay.
It's rough. But yeah, I'm just saying,
Stupid.
I'm just saying, you're living your life. You're you don't have to worry about everything getting in there. You don't need to worry about butt
You're living
plugs.
your best loose butthole life.
Exactly. But then you go in the Dead Sea. You're like, fuck, maybe I do need a butt plug. I mean, not for the usual reasons people need butt plugs.
Maybe I should do Kegels.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm saying it's rough out there, man. It's fucking rough.
So another audience member reportedly said, quote, I don't want to see Arnold being dragged down to where he's helpless like that. He's standing there talking about the boy's father's death in the rain. It's very upsetting, unquote. And I guess we have her to thank for that scene being cut that we watched. Although I think I said it before, but that scene just would have slowed the pace of the film way down.
Yeah.
And I'd love to give you guys a few more reviews. But unfortunately, in an attempt to prevent low test scores from leaking to the press, Mark Canton had the audience report cards collected before the research company could get them, and then later had them shredded.
That's a good sign.
And then buried in the desert next to E.T.'s, all those E.T. video games.
So in addition to not wanting the scores leaked, Canton also did this in order to prevent Schwarzenegger or McTiernan from finding out about them due to their already tight schedule. Later explaining, saying quote, I didn't want the director who had literally been working 18-hour days and our star to come up with 14 more ideas that would take 3 weeks. We didn't have 3 weeks. So when did the shredder they went?
Yeah, Mark Canton sounds
job.
like the reason this movie.
Like what you were saying, what we were saying something earlier, a guy that I don't know. Anyway, so after the screening, Arnold, McTiernan, and the Columbia executives ended up having an emergency meeting at Shotzi, Arnold's restaurant.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
They all agreed that reshoots needed to be done for the third act, but according to the book, it was understandably tough to judge what did and didn't work because the movie had been shown in such a rough form. Mm-hmm. Which is what I don't understand about doing this whole thing. But okay, anyway, let me finish the meeting thing real fast before I start bitching about stuff. But so yeah, before the meeting ended, Schwarzenegger and McTiernan once again brought up the possibility of pushing back the release date in order to allow for proper time for reshoots and any sort of fine tuning that the movie might need. Of course, Canton once again shot them down, saying that postponing the release date would make it seem like the film was in trouble, with John McTiernan later saying of the studio's decision to stick with the June 18th release date, quote, "The studio folks assured us that the movie was more likely to make money this way, that the amount of money that the studio would see would decrease by $10 million per week for each week of the summer that you cut off. I'm not about to argue with things like that," unquote. And so like you can definitely start to understand like why he's like, like this is never happening again.
Yeah.
Fucking bug him. Like with Rollerball. Cause like he's just, I don't know. And the thing that sucks is it just, a lot of it gets put on him and Arnold. But anyway.
Yeah.
So the thing I don't understand about all this is like, what was the point of having the test screening then? Because there obviously wasn't enough time to really do any of the stuff that you might usually do as a result of a poor test screening. Like the only thing I could think of is that Mark Canton was just like that delusional about how, like about showing like a super rough cut of the film would go.
Yeah.
Like maybe he was just like completely confident that it would go well and was then counting on that to generate positive, like word of mouth basically about the movie. I don't
maybe
or they were running out of that. Like they're running out of time to get it done. And
yes, but there's no point of doing to do a test screening.
It helps them decide on cutting.
No, it doesn't because you can't do anything about it though.
Well,
he wanted his biases confirmed. Like that's what he wanted.
That it was good or something?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
But
he wanted to hear from a bunch of people. He needed his ego stroked. It had been too long since he fucking.
I get that. Like I would get the cutting thing, but like you can cut little tiny stuff. But like the stuff that they were seeing was a whole third act thing. I don't know. Like you already know the media is gunning for your movie. Why would you show a version of it that's so unfinished that people can't understand the dialogue? Like it's just a movie full of Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. Just like
Ooh, yeah. I'm sorry, you just got me upset.
like Chris, I'm seriously starting to think like Mark Canton he's only seen 6 movies before Last Action Hero. That might actually be true. There's just this, The Bonfire of the Vanities, and like the first 4 Police Academy movies, and that's it. It's like that's all he's seen. I don't know. Like almost every choice that the studio made for this movie is just fucking baffling to me. Like,
yes.
I mean, it is like I was alive and I was a Schwarzenegger fan back then, but I was a child. I didn't understand like studios and why things are bombs and everything. And like as I've discussed many, many times in this, talking about this movie and other times, I'm just like, I just don't get it. I don't know why this wasn't the shit because it's the shit.
Yeah.
But now, like, I'm realizing this fucking Mark Canton guy in the studio interference is just like totally kind of fucking everything up and a joke out of it. And it's like it's already a joke. The whole fucking movie is a joke. You don't even make a joke out of a joke. You know,
it's not even over yet.
I just figured the audience, like, I was like, man, everybody was just stupid in 1993. Like, they just didn't get it.
Well,
yeah.
But
well,
now I get
true. I mean, technically, San Francisco State psychology professor.
Like, Erika, I didn't mean to like cut you off with what you were saying as far as like as far as like the test screening. Like, you do usually do that. But when you put it out in that rough of a form, it's like the book was saying, it's fucking hard. You can't tell what doesn't work. So like if you're like,
also you're still going to make a bunch of changes to it. Like again, what's the point?
I don't know. That's what you usually do. You what Eric was saying, you fix the stuff that they're not laughing at. But if they can't understand the dialogue, they're not laughing. Like the book even said, like they were still kind of optimistic about it. So once we fix the dialogue a little bit and whatever, like the jokes will start landing, which I'm sure was true.
Yeah.
But still, like, what was the fucking point of the I don't know.
No clue.
Yeah, that's like when you don't show it to a test audience, you show it to other like people in your industry.
I don't know.
It's like your fucking 15-minute comedy sketch, you know, your fucking like your song or whatever. You're like, oh, you know, it'd be tight if you added like a banjo here or whatever. Like that's the shit that you need, you know. You don't want to like it. Go find your favorite band and go like on fucking YouTube or YouTube Music or Spotify and listen to like rough cut, like even the fucking Beatles, like the rough cut shit, and you're just like, or the fucking demo, like that sounds like dog shit.
Listen to some like the biggest one I can think of off the top of my head is fucking the Spice Girls Wannabe. Listen to the demo of that.
Yeah, it sounds like shit. I mean, I don't know that, but
well, no, it doesn't have. I was reading about it, and that's how I know. Like the last person that tweaked it put the hook into it, So if you listen to an old demo of it, it's just like this song is like it's not. It wouldn't have. Yeah. Anyway, okay. So of course the media finds out about the screening, with Variety reporting a few days later that Columbia marketing guru Sid Gaines said that the audience reaction was absolutely sensational, adding, quote, "We now know that Last Action Hero is not only on target for opening day, but also that it's headed towards bullseye." Unquote. So yeah, they've decided to lie about it. And that makes sense, whatever. Like if you don't want anyone thinking that the movie's in trouble. Well, if they're going to lie about how the screening went, they might as well keep it up when asked about the audience test numbers, right? Like as long as the lies that they make are somewhat believable, no one should catch on, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, that might have worked, but unfortunately, they talked to Mark Canton. He did them no favors by obviously lying when asked about the audience numbers for the test screening. Does anyone want to take a guess as to like what kind of lie he told, how he lied about it?
It was so good, everyone in the theater died. They just all died. They all had heart attacks.
Okay, so we didn't get scores from everybody, but the scores we got were very high because he
like
took
a partial
all the
because what?
Shitty scores. It was a fucking stop the count thing.
That's actually kind of close. Joe got very close.
Good on you, Joe. Thinking like a white-collar criminal.
Okay, so the official word from Columbia/Canton were there were no numbers, man. No numbers. They didn't actually collect any because apparently they held a test screening just for funsies. Yeah? Didn't collect numbers. There were no numbers at all.
We don't believe in scores,
yeah,
man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nope. Didn't collect numbers.
Sounds like the scorecard's working for the movie, man.
So that's what I'm saying. Like Joe got closest because I was like, oh, that's actually kind of close.
Oh my God.
Nope, didn't collect any numbers. When asked by Entertainment Weekly about it,
they tried to hand it to us, but they just fell right in the trash can. It wasn't our fault.
Yeah.
We hired guys with the fucking cerebral palsy. Cerebral palsy. They couldn't fucking grip it. We're out here reaching out to the community and shit. Not our fault.
When asked by Entertainment Weekly about it, Canton told them, quote, "The truth is, I purposely had no screening numbers done. I had my assistants take the cards, file the cards, and never add them up. It's the same thing we did with Batman at Warner Brothers, because I knew that even if we scored a 90, someone would say it was a 10. And sure enough, I heard Action Hero was 78, I heard it was 48, I heard it was 38, so I kind of laugh when I hear the numbers. It is the ultimate irony of how low people will go, unquote, and holy fucking fuckity. Like, how does this motherfucker, like, how did he get as high as he did? Because, holy fuck. Like, how the hell do you think anyone's going to believe that?
So Mark Canton?
Yes, Mark Canton. Which this didn't even end his career at Columbia. He was there for another few years, and then he ended up getting fired, and he moved to somewhere else, of course.
Oh, yeah, they always get a job again.
So reshoots began in early May 1993 with the media, of course, claiming that the movie was in trouble because of the fact that they're doing reshoots. Although Columbia assured them that they do reshoots with like on most of their movies, which I know is true now. I'm not sure if it was true back then, but if it is true, there's no way that the media didn't already know that. And so at this point, it just seems like they're just like, fuck this movie. Like, this guy's fucking lying to us. Like, obviously, no, fuck this movie. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Oh, no numbers? Okay.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing reshoots? They're doing reshoots. Anyway, like, I'm not sure if it was a thing, like, as like, because I know it's like, especially for action movies, I think. Like,
yeah, it's just built in now.
Yeah.
They know they're going to do reshoots.
Wait, pause.
Yes.
They're doing reshoots in May. When does this come out?
June 18th. They're doing reshoots in early May.
Okay.
And they're editing it. Post-production is happening at the same time. Anyway, Entertainment Weekly ended up covering the reshoots and got a couple of good quotes from both Arnold and McTiernan, with McTiernan telling them, quote, "They did reshoots for Terminator just 2 weeks before it came out. It's become a part of making an Arnold movie. He's like a physical trainer, always pushing. Do one more rep. You can do it," unquote.
Wow.
Yeah. And then Arnold's quote concerning the rumors surrounding the film is just great, with him telling Entertainment Weekly, quote, "Every movie I've done, there's always a buzz about how it was over budget, how it wouldn't come out on time, and how it was a disaster. That's because everyone in this town is jealous of the next guy. They're all a bunch of jealous bitches sitting around saying, I hope he takes a dive. What do you think I've been hearing about Spielberg's picture? The most hideous things." Unquote. But I love the sassiness of that quote.
Yeah, did you say bitches?
Yeah.
That wasn't you?
No. They're all a bunch of jealous bitches sitting around saying, I hope he takes a dive. Yeah.
That sounds like you, though.
Entertainment Weekly also talked to them about the test screening, with the magazine claiming that they were told by attending audience members that Last Action Hero was, quote, off the mark, juvenile, and my personal favorite, Willy Wonka with guns. Which just sounds awesome.
That does kind of sound great.
Yeah. Was that an insult?
Guys, I've got a movie idea.
That would make that movie 10 times better.
Yeah.
Let me tell you. Especially if it was like a chocolate gun. That would be cool. Like sprays chocolate sauce. Yeah.
So many possibilities.
Or a gun made out of bullets that sprays chocolate.
A gun made out of bullets?
Like gushers. Yeah. Like gushers.
Oh, I have some gushers in my
Oh, yeah. The gushers are like grenades.
Gushers are good and gross at the same time.
They're
No, they're not good. They're just gross.
They're kind of gross, but you're...
Well, at least Arnold wasn't like... At least he was smart enough not to give some stupid as fuck lie that like Mark Canton did. And he also managed to make his lie somewhat entertaining when asked about the... asked about the test screening. He said, quote, we had a test screening. The audience reaction was fantastic, through the roof. But there were some people, maybe a few 17-year-old girls, who said...
Did he actually say that?
Yes. The quote says, but there were some
beaches.
There were some people, maybe a few 17-year-old girls, who said they wished there were one or two more action scenes. When you have the word action in the title, and when you see me on screen, people have certain expectations. It's just one of those things. So we figured, why not shoot the scene? So yeah, they did the reshoots. All right, and we're going to stop right there, but join us next week to find out how Last Action Hero did during its opening weekend, as well as all the dumb ways that the studio tried to course correct its marketing campaign. Oh, and by the way, I know we always say join us next week, and then we don't end up releasing a new episode for like a few weeks after that. But we just finished recording and editing the next few episodes, so the next one actually will 100% be released next week. And yeah, apologies that we've had such a super delayed release schedule like with these episodes. Everything's been a bit crazy lately, and I've just been slacking big time. Anyway, as always, thanks so much for listening, and please don't forget to leave us a rating and review on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. It's the perfect place to give us a 5-star rating while also complaining about our release schedule. Anyway, thanks again, and we'll see you next week.
See you at the party, Richter!
If you enjoy our show, please consider giving us a positive review on Apple Podcasts or your podcast app of choice. You can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Potty Richter to make sure you never miss an episode. See You at the Potty Richter is a production of Tape Deck Media. Follow Tape Deck on Instagram at TapeDeck_media, or look us up on Facebook for more hilarious podcasts.
This has been a Tape Deck Media production. Thank you for listening.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.